What's good? What's good? It's your boy TL3, rocking with ZanaP and Let's Talk Radio.
WindyCityUnderground.com, your music, your station. What up, y'all? It's your girl ZanaP checking in on the mic, but not alone. What's up, Talley 300? Talley up 300. Let me make sure I get that right. AKA TL3. What's going on, man?
Not too much, man. Chilling, cool, and working.
Man, cool and work. I see you working. That's one thing I can't say that y'all doing, man. Shout out to FGE doing their thing, man, out here making Chicago and everywhere else go crazy. So we might as well jump right in. So tell me about the rap game. Tell me what made you fall in love with rap.
Really, I'm kind of in love with just music, period.
Okay.
What really made me want to rap, actually, Montana, I always used to like freestyle all the time when we was younger, and you know, I have somebody beating on the table or something, I just go off, or we'd be at a house party and I just go off or something, you know. So I always, rap always was really like inclined really with words and English, and you know, so I was into it anyway. And then one day Montana told me to write a rap against him, and so we wrote a rap against each other, and ever since then I just never stopped writing.
So it just came to you just like that.
Yeah, I always like music. I like music, period, all kinds of music. So
I seen that. I see that you do some hip hop. You do, you know, you rap, you R&B. Yeah, so you just all around versatile with it. Yeah. So when it came from writing just like that, it just took you to go with everything, like R&B. Everything.
I think you know, like I said, I always had a feel for some of everything. I always was kind of into everything.
Right.
So once I really started expressing myself, writing my own music, and you know, I just kind of whatever I put my mind to, I just so happened to be a good
writer at it. That is definitely what's up. So besides Montana, a 300 bring an influence. Who else was influencing your life before you got here?
Man, it's a lot. Really, I really just like being to Eminem real hard.
Eminem was that man. You hear me?
Yeah, but
and a lot of people don't give him his props.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah, like him, he was like it for me for a long time. You know, and then you know, I always like Hot Boys, Lil Wayne, and once T.I. came out with once I first heard I'm Serious.
Yes.
Then that's what really got me really wanting to. You know, T.I. was like more of my style, really. That I was kind of feeling.
T.I. was the man. Shout out T.I. He's still doing his thing a little bit, right?
That's true.
I ain't really heard nothing new from him.
He in that Roots movie.
Yeah, I've been hearing a few things, but yeah, he been making different type of moves. You know, he, still doing what he do.
I did not know he was in that Roots movie. Yes. That's crazy. That's crazy. So was it anybody else that was influencing besides rappers? Is it some family members, maybe mom, dad, or anybody that you could really say that man that pushed you or stood behind you, or didn't stand behind you and made you want to go hard because you just like, all right.
I actually had I really didn't have too many people that like pushed me to do nothing. All I ever had was my mom, you know, so she did what she did, you know. But I had a teacher when I was like in 7th grade, and he always used to like pick on me all the time. Like,
what?
I don't know really what his problem was, but I always was like an honor roll student.
Okay.
You know? And but I got a short attention span, so like I'll be done with my work fast in class, and then other kids talking to me, so I'll become a disturbance.
Yeah, now you gotta go.
Yeah. So, but you know, as a kid, I kind of didn't really, I didn't look at it too much like that. You know, I used to kind of feel like he was picking on me, but he really kind of was. And one time he had us write like what we want to be when we grow up, and I misspelled rapper. I didn't know if I was supposed to put 2 P's or 1 or whatever. So he tried to bust me out in front of the class. You know, when I know he knew what I was saying, you know what I mean, whatever. But he used to take every opportunity he had to really embarrass me. You know, in front of the class, any opportunity he had. So we always used to class, but when he did that day, it just really
made you feel some type of way, man.
Like, just remind me, like, especially he talking about being a rapper and you making a joke out of it, and it just really was like, It's all good. I'll be where I'm trying to get.
Exactly. So have you ran into that teacher?
No, I haven't seen him in a long time. I don't know what I would have to say to him.
That's what I was gonna say. What would you say if he was to walk in this room right now? What if we made that call? You know, like them special periods, like on Oprah, and they just call to come in, and what would you say to him? My non-believers.
I'll probably just give him the fingers. You know.
Don't get him, man.
Leave it at that. I really want to have too much to say to him.
Right.
I got a little hot temper, so especially for him, I got bad, you know, history with him, so it wouldn't turn out too good if he did say anything.
I would tell you to say whatever that teacher name is. I'd be like, thank you. Now let's just leave it at that. He'd be like, thank you. Thank you. He gonna think about that for the rest of his life. Believe that.
Yeah, I agree.
You looking like, whatever.
I agree with that, because he know, if he did ever see me. I'm pretty sure he kind of do, though.
He see you.
In our town, we it. You know what I mean?
That's the man?
Yeah, we it. So we been it for a long time.
Okay.
You know, it's really not nothing new. So
okay.
I'm pretty sure that he done heard my name. My last name, my rap name is actually my last name.
Okay.
Yeah,
so unlike me talking about, can you send me your first and last name? You're like, that is my first and last name. I'm like, oh, I knew that.
I know you hear that name a lot. You know, you ring bells to him.
Definitely.
Sure.
Hey, but we're going to take a break on nothing there because, you know, I'm going to have to call that teacher up next time you come on. You might get a surprise visit from him. I'm going to have to bring him on. Mr. Randall. Hey, shout out to Mr. Randall, man. Mr. Randall, you see what my man's at now? He's doing big things. But we're going to take a break and come right back with Lil Durk right here on WindyCityUnderground.com. Your music, your station. Are you satisfied with where your career is right now?
Oh, no, not at all. I got a lot of dreams. Like, I've always been a person that's really big on God, so my hopes be real high.
Okay.
Know? Oftentimes I find myself getting let down a lot, but...
well, explain that. What you mean?
You know, just like everything never goes planned. You know, I always have like real high hopes and be real enthused about a lot of things, and sometimes, you know, and it's not like I don't take it hard or nothing like that.
Yeah, you should.
You know, everything just don't go as planned sometimes, really. But
I think if everything went as planned in life, we would have nothing to look forward to.
We wouldn't at all. So I mean, I'm thankful for it all because you know it's getting me where I'm going. But I most definitely got a lot more to come.
A lot more to come. So you're happy with your career, but you're not going to be complainsive with what you got, what's happening right now with your career, and that's what's up. So y'all heard him right here, man. He got more things coming. His career is definitely taking off, and it's about to do big numbers. It's already doing big numbers, man. I'm just so happy for what you got for yourself coming. So let's talk about who you riding to these days. When you're in a car cruising down the city, who you listening to?
To be honest, I actually don't listen to too much of nobody, really. Yeah, if I do hear any music, somebody showed it to me. You know, I like a lot of people that's out, but I don't never like just go and check for their music. If anything, I'm listening to Fire in the Church.
Right. You know what's funny though? A lot of artists say that they're not really checking for people. Like, I got a lot of people that say they listen to just beats while they ride. Shout out to Chella H. I got a couple of people that say they just listen to themselves all the time. And I never really get nobody saying that, well, no, I'm telling a story. There is some people that say they listen to, you know, they got Dirk or somebody they ride to some type of music. But mostly it's just self.
Yeah, I barely even listen to myself, really.
Really?
You know, like, I don't really write raps down on paper or nothing like that.
So it's all in your mental.
Yeah.
Check you out.
I've been doing that since probably like 2007.
Okay.
So I haven't wrote a rap since then. So everything that I've done up until now, you know, it's just, so I come up with these raps. So once I store them, it's like, you know, once I get this track done, I listen to it a few times, you know, then I'm kind of, you know.
How do you know when a track is done? How do you know when a track is done?
I don't know. It's just, you know, really play by ear, you know.
You just feel it.
Yeah, once you, like a lot of people do a lot of ad-libs and do a lot of different things, but sometimes, you know, the record don't need all of that.
All of that.
So it's just really playing by ear, see, you know, being satisfied with
So
it.
you pretty much, do you have like a certain method where like, you know, there has people that do random things. So are you one that when you write a hook first, most people write the hook or write the verse first, then go in, how you do it?
It really depends on, like when I listen to the beat, what type of concept I want to come with.
Okay.
First, you know, then I decide if I want to have a hook or not. So if I do want to put a hook on the song, then yeah, I come with the hook.
So if I say that girl with that green dress, you just gonna go crazy with that?
That's the title.
You hear me? Okay, let's talk about that title, Glorious Bastard. Please give me a more insight of what inspired you to name your first project that.
For one, it's like, you know, it is my first project, you know,
okay.
But mostly because, you know, I came from a really like I don't want to say dark, but you know, really like I've been kind of misjudged like all my life.
Okay.
You know, and from all type of people, women, men, you know, with jobs, you know, all type of different things, different aspects. Yeah, I've been stereotyped a whole lot, and I actually like got the badder end of it, you know.
Right.
And just to still be grinding and coming from where I come from, you know, and you know, really the biggest thing too is like Jesus, you know, knowing Jesus, like he was if some people could call him a bastard, you know.
Please tell me more.
Being that he only father that can be proven is his mom.
Okay.
The only person that can be proven to be, you know, he didn't have, you know.
You didn't see, like you saw his mom drop to her knees, but he was praying to someone up there who we had never seen.
Yeah, we can't bring that proof of a father, you know.
Yeah, but
I was kind of really like that, you know. I ain't have no dad, or, you know, in society, you know, when you a bastard, you know, you frowned upon, you know. And not only was I a bastard, but I was frowned upon and, you know, judged. Just, you know, I dealt with a lot, you know.
Okay.
But, you know, when you, like I said, knowing Jesus, you know that you glorious, just as glorious as anybody, if not more, than those who judge you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you can't be somebody just because, you know, society say one thing, it don't make you who you are, you know.
So that project is going to be an album?
Yes.
How many songs do you think you're going to have on there?
I'm still debating right now. The list might actually get shorter.
Okay.
Because I have about maybe like 19 or 20 tracks right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I might cut back a little bit.
You gonna just a tad bit?
Yeah, just a tad bit.
When it comes to visuals, how much input do you have on the visuals?
Sometimes like we've been shooting mostly with Zay.
Okay.
So like he got you know, he good at what he do. So he have a lot of different ideas that he like to throw up, but we put most of our ideas together.
Okay.
And come up with some. I actually haven't had a lot of solo visuals.
Okay.
Lately. But most of the ones that we had were with Montana, and he has his vision where he wants to go with it. So.
Okay.
You know, that's something.
It do crazy. Hey, but when this solo project drops.
Yeah, I got a lot coming.
You got a lot coming. All right, so let's talk about the lineup with that. You got 19 songs on there. Give me 3 songs off of there that they should go listen to when it drop ASAP.
My intro. It's gonna be called The Bastard.
The Bastard. Okay. Okay.
I got quite a few. I got another song called Made Up My Mind.
Okay.
Where,
what's that about?
I'm really just talking about God and just, you know, living, you know, grinding, you know, making up my mind with what I want to do, you know. I say, you know, I made up my mind that every day I'm going to be on my grind, you know.
Don't start nothing, because I do like to pull people on the mic to go ahead and bust something, so don't start spitting lyrics, because...
I mean, I can hit these hooks.
Go ahead, go crazy then, let me hear something back.
I made up my mind, until I die, I'll be out here on my grind. When shit get hard, I'ma stand the test of time. Yeah. Pray to the Lord that he bless me with the light. And I'ma shine, cause I made up my mind. Until I die, I'll be out here on my grind. I just touch into you know, the things that really make me feel like that, you know, like in this album I'm kinda touching on some things that I never really touched before, like, you know, some of my past, some of my, you know, hardships, you know, some of the ways I feel about a lot of things, you know.
You speak a lot on your past. You make me want to dig deeper into that. Like, what is it? What was the besides your janky teacher? What was it like in your past? You didn't have a father. You were raised by your mom.
Yeah, just really the struggle. You know, like I really don't have a lot of family. Like I said, all I had was my mom. You know. And from where I'm from, like the city's so small, like I'm really supposed to, like, I got a lot of family, technically, but I don't know a lot of my family. You know, like I said, I don't know a lot of people on my dad's side, a lot of people on my mom's. So it's really kind of a deep story, really to be getting into. But you know, basically, all I had was my mom and her mom, which is my grandma, her 5 kids. You know, I got an uncle and an auntie on my dad's side, and that's all the family that I really know. Besides, you know, other people that I've been introduced, but mainly all my life, that's the family I knew. And majority of them was on drugs except my mom. So everybody around me struggled. Like when I say we didn't have, especially my mom, we didn't have no help at all.
Right.
Like just straight struggle, and you know, it's just really all bad. Like it's really not a whole lot of good. Talk about, you know what I mean?
Well, I honestly feel like talking about the struggle gives others the feeling to be like, man, if he came through the mud like this or through the grind like this, I can too. That's why I asked you, what was it? You know, because you keep saying my past. What was it in your past? You know, I just kind of wanted to dig just a little deeper to give your audience and the people that love you that inspiration, because I see a lot of posts from y'all fans saying how you guys' music is changing their lives.
That's really what I plan to do. That's another reason why I named, you know, my album Glorious Bastard, for anybody who is like me. Yeah, because there's a lot of bastards in the world, you know, and a lot of people coming from a lot of hard places, and just show them that nothing can stop you. You still can be glorious. You still.
Is there any features on Glorious Bastard at all?
Yeah, most likely I'm gonna have another cipher on there. So, but really mostly just people from FGE. You know, the team really.
Y'all a strong team, man.
Yeah. So I really don't need too many features outside.
Yo,
you know?
What was that song we all had on the red? And everybody took their turn.
Oh yeah, that's the cipher too.
Yo, that went crazy, and it just showed that y'all are such strong stand-up men. Like y'all just there.
We got a lot of men.
Y'all got men, and y'all always look so not tough but strong, emotionally strong. Like y'all face always just like.
That's what makes.
Cause like we really like a family. Like you know, some that's younger than us. You know, like we interact with each other life, really, not just all music. Like we give each other life advice. You know, we are real friends. You know, No Fatigue is actually my blood cousin.
Okay.
And you know, Tony, he been, you know, in my life ever since I was 11 years old. So, you know, that's my brother.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just that's how we look at everybody. You know, brothers. It ain't really just, you know, all just music artists that work together. Like, I love all of them.
If you could collab outside of FG, have you ever thought of anyone that you would love to collab with?
Not at the moment, really. Maybe when I feel like I established myself, really, because I got a lot to say, and I want people to know me.
You first.
Yeah.
Okay. So at what point did you were you able to realize that it was just more that you needed? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure you went through that in that stage where you was acting out and wanted to be seen and wanted to clout for a second, and then you had to really turn your life around. At what point did you really feel like, all right, man, it's time, right from wrong, tell my friends no?
Well, as far as friends, like I went to jail in 2005, and you know, it wasn't. I had a lot of friends before I went, you know, and like I'm a loyal person, you know, so I ride for my homies. Like before I went to jail, you know, I was like real hot-headed, real reckless.
Okay.
You know, like I remember one time I told my mom, she told me, you know, these streets gonna be out here, you know. I told her, I'm out here right now.
And that's what they telling their moms now
For
still.
real, yeah, and right after that, I was in jail.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and everybody that was supposed to be my homies, except for like Tony, you know, I done heard about people talking down on me. You know, it's females breaking bad, my homies messing with my girl. You know what I mean? Like I didn't dealt with a whole lot in my life. You know what I mean? But you know, even then, even after getting out, it still was more to learn. You know, I actually got shot before and almost died. And that's really was really like the turnaround point for me. You know, like, cause I used to be so high that I used to rob people. You know what I mean? And I ain't talking like, oh, I catch somebody on the street. Like I used to stalk people basically. You know what I mean? I was kicked though artist. Okay. You know, it was. You know, I had stopped myself from doing that. You know, I told. You know, like I said, I'm real big on God. I love God. You know. Right. You know, innocent people used to get hurt from the things that I do. Yeah. You know, and I had to really stop myself from doing that because it didn't settle well with me. You know,
that's conscious, exactly. Conscious. So if I was to ask you to tell the youth right now who is probably going through and doing the same thing that you went through, what would you tell them? You know what I'm saying? Give them some type of motivation.
My biggest thing, like I said, is God. You know, a lot of people don't look for God like they should. I think that's what's really lacking in the world. God and love. You know, like, when you don't have nobody, because I know some people out there that don't have nobody. No. Like, you know, like I said, I didn't have a lot of help. My mom didn't have a lot of help. You know, it was a whole lot of people that I can turn to and get some good advice, or somebody who's actually doing good. You know, as a kid, you want to see somebody who's doing good to get that advice. You know? I want to get that off people's mind too. Like, don't think because a person ain't doing good, they don't got good advice to give you. Okay. You know, because, you know, you can see a bum, a homeless person on the street, and he can tell you the most wisest thing in the world. You wouldn't want to accept his knowledge that he got to give you, but you accept this nigga pulling up in his Maybach, you know, but he ain't got shit to give you. He gonna tell you how he got that Maybach, which is all probably bad, you know, telling how he got it, whatever, you know. You think that he got something out of life, you know, but a lot of this stuff don't last, you know what I mean?
Man, definitely.
And so you gotta want something beyond success. You gotta want something that's beyond material and beyond just living good. You know, your mental health is really the biggest thing. So if I can tell anybody anything, it's God. You know, get to know God, get to find yourself, know of good, know of love. Because love, you know, a lot of people put a lot of spins on love and say love hurt, and you know, it's not love that hurt, it's betrayal of love that hurt. You know.
Let's not get you preaching on this mic now.
Yeah, I don't want to go to church.
Don't go to church. Before we close out, what is Talley's life like outside of music, though? You know, I asked you your biggest accomplishments. Now I want to know, what is it like? What do? You ride a bike? You go eat polar chips? What do you do, man? You eat pork? What's wrong with you? What you do? Read?
Kids, yep. Okay. Kids, read, you know.
What do you read?
Music. I like to read besides the Bible, like, factual books. Not really, you know, I like to read, like, fictional books, you know. Like, I read a book called, like, 17 Principles of Success, or 48 Laws of Power.
Inspirational book.
Yeah, you know, mind feeders. Mind feeders, exactly. Things that can build you, you know, different knowledge and aspects of life, different ways to look at life, different ways to, you know, different things to understand, especially how the mind work and how people might work, because in this world we got to interact. Right. You know, if you want to get somewhere, you ain't gonna be able to do it alone. Exactly. You know, so you got to know how to be able to interact with people. You got to have a positive mental attitude really about a lot of things. You know, you got to know, not let so much, you know,
everything around you just
change you.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, man, Talley, I really appreciate you spitting the knowledge that you spit on air for the youth and everybody else that's listening. At this time, I'm going to give you the mic, which I always give the artist the mic, and I want you to say what you got on, how you feel in your heart, and also give out your social media and where they can find you. And then I want you to introduce your song that we're going to play. Okay. Cool beans? Cool. All right, it's your time.
What's good, world? TO3, Talley at 300, FGE in the building. I just want to say, shout out to everybody who, rocking with us. I see a lot of fans out there. I don't really be too much into the, social media as hard as I should, but I most definitely see everybody and see all the love. And I just want to tell y'all I'm sending all the love back. And y'all got it from the whole team, most definitely. We're going to keep rocking, going crazy for y'all. Y'all check me out. It's Talley at 300 everywhere. Talley at 300 on Twitter. Talley at 300 on IG. Set my Facebook name. If you on Facebook, is Montel Talley. Just check me out. Follow me.
Yeah, I heard that right here on Windy City Underground. I'm going to have you introduce your song. We're going to go crazy.
New track coming soon. Single. I'm going to have a visual out for y'all. But it's called Now You Know. Check me out.
Yeah.
Add Hibrid Entertainment.